Welcome back to another episode of Stories from the Dirt. Today, Rob and I are interviewing John and Jess of the Artemis Rally. How are you guys today?
We're good.
Hello there.
Mhm.
Doing well.
We're excited
Hi.
to be here. Hi.
So I hear that twang. Where are you guys coming from today?
Hickory, North Carolina.
We're right here in the foothills, North Carolina, about 70 miles northwest of Charlotte.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, good area out there. Do you guys get up to Asheville very often and head out into the mountains?
Yeah, we used to go up there quite a bit. It's only about 70 miles due west from where we're located.
Yeah.
But typically the temperature up there is similar to what it is here. So we try to go north, the Boone and Blowing Rock area, and we'll get
Okay.
10 or 12 degrees cooler that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
Nice.
makes sense.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourselves before we dig into your rally.
Go ahead.
I'm Jessica Spears. I'm his counterpart with Artemis Rally and Overlander Project. I've been working with OP since 2020, and we developed the Artemis Rally in 2023. Technically, was
Right.
the first year. My daytime job, I'm a trauma therapist. I primarily work with women who have experienced abuse in relationships. So I'm all about empowering women in any way that I can. I have two beautiful children, and I love to be outdoors anytime that I can.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a native to Hickory. Been here my whole life. Always been in the outdoors. I took Boy Scouts about as far as I could take it. Left that, went into the off-roading world. Um, Been around that my entire life. Um, I've done a lot of freelance work for BF Goodrich Tires, tire testing events and whatever they've thrown at me. And that's kind of how Overlander Project was born in 2018. Always had folks coming to me wanting, me to lead them on some type of adventure. So created Overlander Project to provide that for people.
Nice. And Overlander Project is an adventure company, or
Yeah,
how would you explain that?
yeah, it's an outdoor adventure company. We do expeditions, a strong word, but we'll take people on, 3-day expeditions. We have a trip coming up in November to Baja. Going to take a group of about 25 there. And we're working on a South Africa trip, Expedition South Africa, which will be,
Oh, that sounds exciting.
yeah, for real. We're not going to be able to take our vehicles. We'll fly into Johannesburg and rent some there, like 70 Series Land Cruisers. But that's going to be South Africa, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. Um, Obviously, we're going to have to get enough people to make that trip work numbers wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. And then Artemis Rally, that's our big one. Um, Getting the women out, and it's a true, authentic outdoor adventure rally.
Yeah. So, I don't really know much about it other than you do different kind of challenges. So, let's start with it's for women only.
Correct.
Okay. And do men come to the base camps or not at all? No husbands allowed.
No husbands allowed. We try to segregate, the women. They have their area. Um, we call them bivouacs, and
Okay.
those move each night. So the ladies, um, when they're done with their challenges for the day, they'll come into the bivouac, and we'll have their tent set up. Everybody, we provide the tents, and they're all matching. They're all in tight formation, similar to the way the military would be. And then we segregate our support crew. They're maybe across a meadow from where the ladies are stationed.
Okay. And then what's your general format?
So for the past 2 years, we've started in Hickory, what we call the starting line, and then the ladies will leave there, and they have to do. What, Let me back up a little bit. Everything that's within the Artemis Rally is optional. So the ladies pick and choose which challenges they'd like to do to acquire their points. So back to the schedule, they'll leave the starting line and say there's a big firearm challenge. They'll go to, a shooting range where we have range officials, there to handle them. Um, they'll Typically, they'll shoot like a 9mm handgun or an AR style rifle. And then, they may leave there and they'll go search for waypoints where Jess and I have personally dropped like a pin, that we were actually
Mm.
there. And then the way that the ladies acquire the points is they have to post photographic proof that they were there at that waypoint. And they,
On their social medias?
correct. And they'll use
Okay.
a specific hashtag for that location. So, like, say day one would be Artemis day one dash six, which would represent
Okay.
the sixth waypoint. And then they'll have bonus challenges, some that'll have a multiplier where they can receive double points. Obviously, the waypoints that have a higher value are going to be more difficult to achieve.
Mm.
And, and then one of the facets of Artemis is that each team is required to have a canoe on the roof from start to finish. They don't
Right.
they don't have to unload it, but it has to be up there, and that's
Okay.
yeah, and that's the platform that we use for our sponsors. Granted, we don't have a ton of sponsors, but that's the perfect billboard. The vehicle could be muddy or dirty, but the decal,
So
yeah,
Yeah.
are there challenges where they actually do use the canoe? You said it is optional and that's why they may not have to remove it, but they at least have to carry it. Is that what you're saying?
correct. It has to be on the
Okay,
vehicle from start to finish. Like we had
gotcha.
one team this year that chose not to canoe. They just didn't want to unload it.
They never took the canoe off, which was fine.
Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
So we provide the opportunity to get the points, and whether they choose to do those challenges for those points is strictly up to them. Like if you had a team that wasn't comfortable with firearms, they could just totally skip that section.
Yeah. Wow, it sounds like you guys have such a large range. So I've heard firearms, canoeing, and then how are you locating your waypoints that you're dropping? Are you using apps or is it like map and compass?
Well, the we're in the 21st century, so we allow all those forms of those apps like OnX, Off Road, or Gaia. Um,
Okay.
Garmin, whichever app you're most familiar
Yeah,
with or the
whichever
one you
one you're
enjoy.
most
Yeah,
maybe you use every day. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you providing them with the coordinates for the spots or how that's the mechanism? Okay,
So
so they got to find that GPS coordinates.
yeah, they receive a scroll at the beginning of each day that has waypoints, coordinates, everything, and it also has the hashtags as well. So, say this is the waypoint, this is the challenge, and then this is the
Okay,
hashtag that you have to post to Instagram. And there might be
gotcha.
anywhere from 10 to 25 different options on there that day.
And so it sounds to me like part of the challenge is like they know where they need to go. They can use the coordinates to find on the map, but then they actually have to kind of figure out how to get there and how to.
And
Is that
also,
okay?
yes, so that's very true. But also, we have a specific time that they have to be at their bivouac, which is basically their camp. So it's a
Okay,
lot of strategy that has to go into when you're inputting your waypoints to make sure that if you want to get these 10 waypoints, are you going to be able to make it back to this waypoint that says it's your bivouac? Because there will be a deduction in points if you're late. So that kind of throws a little twist into it as well.
Okay. Are there any way to incur deductions in points during the day other than being late?
Um, well, like that's what the day each day the ladies spend their time trying to get as many points as possible. Um,
Okay.
and then back to your question about the deductions, if you're into bivouac late, that's a pretty significant deduction. So it would, the ladies need to be there on time. Um,
Okay.
and then, for example, like for this year, we did a hike, a 1 mile hike from the parking area to the summit of the peak, and that that particular waypoint was worth 1,000 points. But
Oh, nice.
if you got to the top and you recorded a video, a video of being on top of the 360-degree view, then you got double points. So
Mm.
teams get tempted by that high value target, but that also takes 3 or 4 hours to do. So you got to strategize and make sure you can get back to the bivouac in time.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, are the days designed such that the team can't really complete all of the challenges,
Yeah.
or would it be possible? No, so they have to pick and choose and kind of strategize what makes the most sense.
Right, and it's
Okay.
impossible to get all the tasks, in one day. And some of the other tasks, we have archery, we have
Axe throwing.
axe throwing, and then some type of winch challenge. A couple teams this year didn't have a winch, a recovery winch on the front, so
Mhm.
they didn't have the opportunity to get those points.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's talk about those winching challenges because the teams have really enjoyed the challenges that we've had for them. Last year, they flipped a vehicle with their winch. And
Yeah.
this year, they had to, well, you explain it. You're better with explaining the thing with Stewie.
yeah, we're trying to build a big expedition rig, like Stewart and Steven,
Oh,
the
The
big
big
blue.
the
blue
big
truck.
blue one, that's yours?
Yeah.
Yes, and we call it Stewie. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they pull up to that. He's weighing in at about 22,000 pounds, and they think in their mind that they might not be able to move that. Because you have a 8 or a
Mhm.
10 or a 12,000 pound winch. Um, so then the teams that tried it, hooked to it, and they had to pull it, from point A to point B, which was probably about 30 or 40
Mhm.
feet.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, stuff that they're not typically doing every day. Um,
Yeah.
Gets them outside the comfort.
And, yeah, did I see most of them were in Jeeps, correct? So there's an off-roading component to it as well?
Yes.
Yes, we unfortunately don't have as much off-roading here on the East Coast as you guys do out that way. So we're limited in that department. Um, but yeah, this year we had an obstacle course. It was a closed course. Had tank traps, stuff like that.
Super
It
fun.
reminds me a little bit of in my younger years, many years ago, I used to do a little bit of adventure racing, and it's kind of feeling very similar to what you have the various challenges and
Well,
just various things thrown at you that you may not even know. I remember one year I was competing and they threw a Rubik's cube at us.
Right.
oh, that's
Just
a really
like
good
just stuff you don't expect. Yeah.
idea.
Jess is taking
Just
I
notes.
making notes
am.
like
That
that,
might
yeah.
pop up next year. That's really good.
I'm sorry to the competitors for
No,
that.
we we will blame you. But
So,
you said something about
go ahead.
adventure. You said something about adventure, and that's exactly what we're trying to provide. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and are most of the ladies who are competing I mean, are these I'm sure they probably come from all walks of life. Maybe they've done this and maybe is this new to some of them? Is this kind of a new,
Some of them have
to the off-roading?
yeah. Some of them have are more proficient in off roading, and a lot of the ladies had never used a firearm. They've never done whitewater rafting, which is something that we did this year, and several of them were nervous, but so pleased when they finished that they did it. The
Yeah.
accomplishment that was there, and that John and I get to witness. That's honestly why we do this, is being able to see these ladies move through these challenges and be very proud of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw, a video of a couple girls who had just completed the firearms challenge. I think they had a rifle, and so coming in with no experience then, do you have instructors there helping them?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't need any experience, you can come in as green as you wanna be, and you guys will help at
Hmm.
as much as possible.
Yes. So I have experience with firearms.
I do not.
Granted, not a lot, but I could probably walk up to one of those AR firearms that is on a tripod and be able to use it with Zero Delta, which is who we used for the firearms portion challenge last year and this year. The gentleman
Mhm.
there does not really care how much experience I have. He is making sure that he's telling me what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and he's standing there with me. So it doesn't matter how much
Yeah.
experience you have or little experience, you are in safe hands.
Right,
Yeah, that's good.
and that's for, like, the whitewater rafting and
Yes,
the axe
yes,
throwing.
Yeah, when the
So
professionals are needed, that's when we use those. Like for the whitewater rafting, that was a guided trip, and then again for the firearms, you know, um, we had some ladies that had never picked up any type of firearm that were hitting, 5 out of 5 on their
yes,
accuracy.
yes.
And then we shoot.
so
Go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say, yeah, so there's no fear of lady's gonna walk in and somebody's gonna hand her a desert eagle and say, "Have at it."
Right.
You're just yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, that's just amazing
Yeah.
to, because I participate in the Rebel Rally coming up on my 3rd year, and while there's training, when you're actually on the rally, like, you're pretty much kind of out there. I mean, there's safety and they're
Right.
keeping you from straying too far and stuff like that,
Right.
but there's nobody, like, coming along beside you and explaining it and helping you through it and, like, all of the skill and practice you have to prepare on your own. So, this is amazing. And then just the wide breadth of challenges. It sounds really fun.
Yeah, and it sounds like actually some real world kind of skill building and things that
Absolutely.
they can build upon. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's opportunity for zip lining, opportunity for mountain biking, human powered rock climbing. Just a little bit of splash of everything.
That's John and I on Fridays. We typically have Fridays off together. A lot of people don't know that, so now they do. But we
Sorry about
yeah,
that.
we spend our Fridays coming up with challenges and finding waypoints and just exploring. So there really is no telling what we'll come up with.
Yeah, that is amazing. I'll be interviewing the winning team, Jill and Daisy.
That's correct.
I met Jill preparing for the Rebel a few months ago. So yeah, I'm excited to get their perspective as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually.
How many?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Avis.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say we had a team from Longmont, Colorado, which was Christian Yale and Catherine Gocher. They had both competed in the Rebel a few years ago in a chocolate powered Mercedes G wagon. So
Oh, okay, yeah,
it was nice to have them, you know, competing and being able to compare the two. So they had fun.
yeah. How many teams compete?
Last year we had 7, and then this year we had 7 as well.
Okay, so it's still pretty intimate. I mean, how many teams could you accommodate? Should it just blow up?
Obviously, it makes more sense to have more teams, but we're kind of in our infancy, so we're still trying to grow the event. Somewhere probably 40 teams would be the top number to
Yeah.
manage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because we do want it to still be
Yeah.
intimate and enough room for everyone and just not be on top of each other.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like it 40 may not sound like a lot, but I think when you're managing that many
Yes.
teams across that many events and
Yes.
it actually is a lot.
It is.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
lot.
It is.
And you guys are spoiling your competitors by setting up their bivouacs for them and moving them. I mean, that's a dream compared to the Rebel.
Yeah, we really want to treat them like gold when they come into camp. So that's actually all John. He came up with that. That was not me. He wants to make sure that the tents are set up, everything's where it needs to be. And then this year we actually had a trail chef that traveled with us to each bivouac,
Mm.
and I mean fed us so well. Uh, some of the best food I've ever had, and it was prepared outside.
Yeah.
So it
Good
was
job.
amazing. Yeah.
Nice. So how many days long is the rally?
It's 4 days from start to finish. Starts on a Thursday,
Okay.
and yeah, and then awards are on Sunday night. And we do like an awards dinner, ceremony,
Mhm.
cocktail attire for the ladies, so they can let their hair down and enjoy, their achievement.
The last 2 years, our awards ceremony, we've actually been at kind of like at a resort, and we've put the ladies up in a hotel room that last night. So that's kind of nice when you've slept in a tent for 3 nights,
Right.
and then you get to stay in a hotel and just kind of let loose. So
Yeah, and, do you have shower facilities during the start and the finish?
maybe not every night, but
Right.
Okay.
For the inaugural year, 2023, we did. And
Okay.
it may have been because the competitors were keyed up, but I don't think any of them showered for the first 2 nights. Uh, they maybe took advantage of that, night 3.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we try to have flushing toilets and hot showers at each bivouac, so that they can wash the day off and be fresh for the next one.
I think they're just
Sure, but it
excited to be back at camp and have food and then be able to sit down and talk with each other. I don't think they're thinking about a shower.
They're exhausted.
They're
How
exhausted.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, how long is a typical day? Like, what time do they start and what time are they expected to be back?
It's about 12 hours.
Okay, so it's pretty substantial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be mentally
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that entire time.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's a long day.
With all the physical activity and just the mental anguish, yeah, I'm sure it's quite draining.
Yes.
Yeah, and, so do you have dates set for 2025?
We do. It's June 5th through June 8th in 2025. So registration is already open for that, and then we're already getting teams. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so we're excited
Yeah,
about
we're
that.
really excited. Yeah.
So I know you mentioned that it starts in Hickory every year. Does it? But I think I missed. Does it end in various locations, or does it end back where you started?
Yeah, for 2023, we ended, they did a type of loop and ended up about an hour from the starting line. And then this year
Okay.
it was about, they ended up 3.5 hours from the start. And there was very little overlap. So, try to utilize the high country of North Carolina. And it's broad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's broad. We went more southwest this year with the route.
Yeah, and I think kind of just having an understanding of how little public land there is out on the East Coast versus out this way out west where we live. Like I'm sure it's quite a challenge to kind of come up with those courses and kind of make it all work.
Yes.
And I think you mentioned that some of it was on private land, which is nice if you can kind of have those relationships. But I'm sure there's a quite a planning challenge there
Yeah,
in pulling
it's
all that off.
with those moving bivouacs, which I think is one of the most or one of the funnest parts about it. It creates quite a logistical challenge, for that. Uh, but I don't think we're going to change that whatsoever because we like that part the best.
I think the ladies,
Yeah.
they're just so excited. Where are we going to be at tonight? And they come into a whole new environment, whole new setting, and that's just exciting when you get to end your day somewhere different.
Yeah, so do you post kind of your generalized route, or is it a surprise?
It's a
It's a,
surprise.
they do not know where they're
Okay.
going until they get that scroll that morning.
That scroll that Jess is talking about is a paper, for lack of better description. Excuse me. It looks like a large spreadsheet. So they don't get any digital format. It's just a spreadsheet rolled up that we call the scrolls. And when they see it, all the teams are seeing it for the first time together, as well as the support staff, the media, all the support crew. They're seeing all that information for the first time. So then they have to,
Nice.
yeah, plan their route. And then the media locations are ranked, high to low. Um, if our media teams choose to go there, a 10 would dictate that that's probably worth being there to record. And it's usually a higher value waypoint.
Fun.
And for people that care to kind of follow along with the teams and as they're going through it, what is the best way to kind of do that? Is it to keep up with the individual team social media? Because I think you said they were reposting, and that's part of getting the points and things. Is that the best way to keep up, or does the event have any sort of updates or web updates to let folks know
It, it,
how they're progressing?
it will be a little different for 2025 as we put trackers on each of the vehicles. So we'll be able to tell where each team is located. Um, we did have to, for 2020, for the first year, we tried to score internally. And then for 2024, we had to reach out to an external scoring company. But that lag, from the time the ladies submit their points, which is up to 2 hours after their deadline to be in the bivouac, and to submit those points and calculate them takes a while. So
Yeah,
yeah, for 2024, we tried to have the standings posted the next morning, so that each of the teams would kind of know where they were point wise.
makes
Fun.
sense. And then that helps them kind of strategize their day. Oh, we're this
Right.
far behind or we're this far ahead. Like, yeah,
You know,
makes
we
sense.
we had that
Yeah.
we had that conversation this year between some of the support staff. Like, do you show them their points or where their ranking is, or do you not? Like, do you?
Oh, no, you show us, you show us. We wanna know.
Coming from a competitor, yes, we want to know.
Yeah. But I
But
could I could see that adding the additional challenge, which is kind of because it allows for maybe not as much gameplay in terms of, well, maybe we're so far ahead, we only have to get half the points today. You don't know. I could see
Yeah,
that being,
yeah.
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 Yeah, you take.
So, again, I can
Uh,
go ahead.
no, Avis, please go ahead.
I can only speak from my experience on the Rebel, but it's about 50-50. Like, some girls, they don't wanna know, and then there's people like me, like, I am waiting for them to drop my sheet in the thing so I can take it out and look.
And, yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I don't think there's a right answer for everybody. I just know my answer is I wanna know.
Yeah, I feel like personally, like say you were leading or you were in the top two, and you got your points, and then do you let off the throttle because you're ahead, and then
I don't.
well, and then you put the stress on the teams that aren't placed as high. They're trying to gather. It seems like a lot of stress that they don't need to deal with when they're dealing with all those other waypoints. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it both ways. It could be fun. It could be like,
Yeah.
"Surprise!" We're last.
Yeah. Right.
"Remember how bad you are at axe throwing?" "Yeah."
Yeah. That's one of the fun things about Artemis is, all of those challenge, nobody's doing those on a day to day basis. So nobody's really good at any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
you go, socially, you and your husband go throw axes one Friday night. Maybe you do that once, maybe you do that twice a year, but you're certainly not good at it. So when you get to Artemis, no one's good at it. Just, someone's
Yeah.
more lucky than the next team.
Right. And
Yeah, I kind of,
the axes we use may be very different than what you practiced with. So there's that
yeah.
too.
And And if I'm understanding, it's not like there's axes every year. Like you're changing up these events. They don't necessarily know what they're getting into that they can actually prepare for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They might be
Yeah.
able to just
Uh,
assume we need to be proficient in these few things, but there's always going to be things that we throw at them that they were not expecting.
Yeah. Like a
yeah.
Rubik's Cube.
Right. Exactly.
Again,
And that
really
will be
liking
called the
that.
Rob Rubik's Cube Challenge.
That's going to be your challenge. We're
That
going to do
is.
it after you.
I'm going to name it after you.
Perfect. I can live with it.
One of the,
Well, it's
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was going to say one of the
No,
whole reasons that, we came up with Artemis was because, so often the men get to do all the fun stuff, and the women are kind of forced into the back seat, if you will. So to create a platform in an event where they can get out there and show what they can do, and that they can also have fun, and leave the guys out of it. That was the whole idea behind Artemis. Give the ladies a shot. The guys, you stay home. You can watch from your computer or whatever. So that's been fun with that as well.
Yeah. Ava's just giving me looks
I
because
saw
we've had
that.
discussions about this sort
I
of stuff.
saw
Yeah.
that. Yes.
those aren't bad looks. Those aren't
No,
bad
these aren't
looks.
bad looks. Yeah.
I do plenty of things, and Rob supports me and helps me
Awesome.
and teaches me, and yeah.
We
But
watch you guys on YouTube.
Oh,
oh,
thank
do
you.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
like
2 or 3 people. We appreciate it. Yeah.
the Ram pop up. That's a nice setup.
Thank you. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of use out of that truck. We've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of nights in that thing already, and like it's as you know. I mean, you guys it just look like you're building kind of a super cool rig too, and you put a lot of heart and energy and money into it. But when you're actually getting use out of it, like to me, is totally worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that one episode. I don't remember which one it was, but you guys got into, maybe it was either bad weather or cooler temperatures, and you'd gotten up early and walked away from the camp, and you were talking on camera about how cold it had gotten, and somebody had left. It's good. Like your episodes are good.
I appreciate that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's just kind of a passion project for us. We do it for fun. We used to share, more often than we do these days, and now it's just kind of, every few trips we'll get out and share some stuff. But we enjoy it, and I'm glad. Thank you for saying you watch it. It's nice to know that some people are at least finding some enjoyment in it because there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jess was telling me that Avis had reached out to her, and I was like, I don't know who that is. And then she showed me a photo, and I was like, I know
"You
her.
who
I was
that
like,
is."
they have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've neglected to put on my Facebook that I run in am running the podcast, but I reach out to people through Facebook mostly, so I need to adjust that.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, who is this lady reaching out to
I
us?
know,
Yeah.
right? And then I'm just sending random links. This is a progress over perfection project.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to do it.
That's,
Just get it
yeah.
going, figure it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta start somewhere.
yeah, I can't wait till I think I know it all because that's never gonna happen for me.
Same here.
So, tell me about the name Artemis. Where did you come up with that?
She is the goddess of the hunt. Um,
Okay.
and, when you look her up or do a little research on Artemis, she's always holding like a bow. Um, and that's, one of the more point heavy challenges is the archery competition. So that's kind of how it went hand in hand. It was the perfect
Yeah, you
name
can
for
kind
an.
of see it. Hold on, if I'm moving right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's almost
Yep.
it's almost perfect between
Perfect.
you
Yes.
guys. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. The all female or female only event. Artemis is perfect for
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
I like it. So you mentioned that registration is already open. Is that you have a website?
We do. We're trying to make the transition. We're flying under the umbrella of Overlander Project with all of our other events, but
Okay.
we're getting all the Artemis Rally specific stuff in place now. So
Okay.
soon it'll be artemisrally.com or some variation of that. Um,
Okay.
and then currently it's on overlanderproject.com.
And then you just click events, and you'll be able to see it.
Okay, great. And then what is the cost? And then not only what is the cost, but what items do you provide for yourself?
Well, we were kind of all over the place. The first year it was $4,000 a team, and then for 2023 it was $6,400 a team.
Mhm.
But moving forward, it's going to be $2,500 a team. So
Oh,
it's not
You don't hear that happening very often.
right.
no. Negative
Yeah.
inflation.
Right.
Well,
Uh,
you got your set cost. Um, as we figured that out, um,
And
you,
having sponsors as well.
yeah,
That's really
sponsors help.
helped. That's helped a lot.
And pass that
Mhm.
savings on to the ladies. Um, so with that entry fee, you get um, each team gets 8 T-shirts. A shirt for each day, and they're branded. And then they get their vest, which is similar to the one
Similar to this.
Jess is wearing. They get their helmets. They keep those, and they're required to wear those helmets almost all the time. And that's our insurance.
Okay.
Our insurance company dictating that. They're not DOT helmets. They're more like a skateboard or a mountain bike helmet, lightweight, vented. They get all their meals. Oh, I say all their meals. It's the breakfasts and dinners. They're required to do their lunch, whatever they want to do, and all their snacks. We have hydration stations, all throughout the weekend.
We also give gifts throughout the rally. So they may wake up one morning and we have a specific gift for them. So it's usually about 3 or 4 gifts we try to do each year. So those are usually
Yeah,
presented to them before we give them their scrolls.
Right. And then the
I
last,
heard they were super cool.
yeah, we try to
We
make it
really like
fun.
them. Yeah.
This year they got leather journals and some of those branded tumblers, like a Yeti looking thing.
I think they got a towel with
Mhm.
Artemis on it.
Right.
There was
And we're
something
here
else.
in Hickory, it's textile country. So one of my buddies from high school builds socks for the military, which is covert threads. And he whipped up a batch of socks for the ladies. So they all got a pair of those. Um,
Fun.
and then the last night, the awards evening, they get the um, awards dinner, and then we put them up for the night at the resort. That's all included.
And then, of course, this year they got their medals. Each team received their medals. Each lady received a medal for participating. And then, of course, we had the trophies for first, second, and third.
Yeah, we stole that medal idea from the Dakar. They're pretty cool. They're heavy.
They're really cool.
Oh, nice.
it sounds like, I mean, honestly, like quite the value for what you get.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Well,
guys are doing a lot for,
there's nothing else out there like that. There's all
yeah.
female rallies. Obviously like the Rebelle, and then you have the Gazelle, um, but none are that have that much authentic adventure. With all the different facets. So that's what we pride ourselves on. All those different challenges makes it super fun.
Yeah.
the teams that are competing, how are they typically funding themselves? Are they self-funded? Are they getting sponsors? You know, how what are teams if somebody's interested in doing this? I mean, how would you recommend they go about?
Both. Some people are just signing up, and then some people are getting local sponsors. Their favorite restaurant, or a few of them have landed some manufacturers. Which typically a manufacturer wants to give you product, not cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and the more aggressive teams, they're going after it. They'll start early. You can't wait till 3 weeks out and start trying to round up sponsors. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so the teams are providing their own vehicle and I guess snacks and fuel. They're paying for their own fuel.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
The canoes. So we only have about 8 or 9 canoes, and we have those available. It's like a real inexpensive rental fee. Like a canoe, 2 paddles, and 2 PFDs is like $200 for the weekend. So that makes
Okay.
that
And
yeah, that makes
that's required.
correct. It's not required if say Avis, you and your friend wanted to do it. Your neighbor had a canoe. You could toss that on the roof and just bring that. Um,
Oh, okay.
But say if you were driving from Utah and you just didn't want to deal with it, you just want to load up your rental when you got here, that's an option too.
Nice. And then, so you'd provide the tents at the bivouac. What about sleeping bags and stuff like that? We bring our own?
Bring your sleeping pad or your blanket, sleeping bag, pillows, whatever you like to sleep in, to be comfortable. You'd have to
Yeah.
provide that, correct?
Okay. Wow. This is sounding good. Should we put it on the calendar? You want to go to the East Coast in
East
June?
Coast,
You
yeah, we
should
haven't been out there in a
definitely put
while.
it on the
No.
calendar.
I I'm penciling it in for sure.
It's fun. You'd have a lot
From
of fun. You can drag him along. He can sit on the sidelines and cheer you on.
I love
Nice.
it. Yeah, it's my favorite activity.
If you come, we're going to put you to work though. You're going to help us set those tents up each day.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh. You're gonna have to work.
I'm willing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, this is really good information. I'm excited. It sounds like a good time.
If Avis does show up, I want to run the Rubik's Cube station for sure, though.
Yeah.
We'll put you on it.
Okay.
Are you a professional? Because the professionals run the challenges.
Yeah, I'll have some time to get ready.
Okay.
You do have almost a year. Yes.
Yeah. So what else would somebody need to know?
Well, one thing that popped into my mind when we were talking just a second ago is here on the East Coast, you want to make sure that you have tennis shoes, something comfortable, a hiking boot. You want to make sure that that hiking boot is waterproof. A lot of the ladies from the or the West Coast were here and they were walking through the field in the morning. They're like, "Why didn't nobody tell us that it was wet?" We have all the humidity and the dew and everything. So, a boots that's waterproof is really going to be your friend. Really good socks. And then you never know if we're going to have you get in the water. So a good Chaco, a Keen, something like that can protect your foot but allows you to move about easily. That would be good. Is there any other footwear you can think of?
Yeah, along the lines of what Jess was just saying, you need the normal stuff in your vehicle, like a first aid kit, fire extinguisher, stuff that you would normally have anyway for an adventure. And then back to the personal gear, you need your own toiletries, whatever you require daily. Um, the water shoe that she spoke of, so you could get in and out of the canoe, without stepping on rocks or,
Yeah.
broken glass or something. Um,
Yeah.
and then, the shirts that we supply are like a quick dry, like performance fabric. So,
Oh,
they're,
nice.
they're breathing. And then if you were, swimming or you turn the canoe over, that dries quickly. Oh, you get hats too, like really cool hats.
Like ball caps?
Yeah, ball caps.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nice. And then what about the vehicle requirement? So you 4x4 required or
Uh, it's highly suggested. We had one team before they got started. They were trying to enter in a G4 Land Rover Discovery, which was kind of like a take on the Camel Trophy setup. They were the orange vehicles. I don't know if you're familiar, but it had some kind of issues with the power steering before they ever made it to the starting line. So they
Mm.
left, drove back to Asheville, and picked up one of their daily drivers, which was an X5 BMW, and it had basically bald tires on it, and they placed fourth.
Uh,
He
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
So a Subaru Outback, or you don't really need a highly modified vehicle to do Artemis Rally. Some,
Okay.
yeah, all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive is suggested.
that's good to know, and that opens it up to a lot more people
Yeah.
being able to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to have some super built out rig.
Yeah, year one and year two, we both had, or both those years, we had these highly modified Jeeps show up, which were just, drinking so much gas. One of them had 40s on it, and the other one had 42s, and that's probably too much rig for Artemis. Um, yeah, you don't need anything like that.
Yeah, it certainly makes reaching that canoe a little harder.
That was an issue. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, I'm probably just throwing it off the roof, and that's not good for the canoe.
Again, you don't ever have to get it off the roof though.
Oh, true.
You just leave it.
Water's not my favorite.
Yeah.
That was one of the ideas behind the canoes too. Like if you look at any photo from anyone that does anything outdoors, basically all those photos look the same. But
Mhm.
the canoe has become our trademark. You see a vehicle that's lettered up with we call them meatballs, like your team number, and then the canoe on the roof, and then that's Artemis.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, yeah, I've somehow been following it for the 2 years that it's been around, and yeah, the canoe on the top, I'm always like, "Oh, it's Artemis time."
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
Really sets it apart.
We've
Yeah.
we've got our South African friend Herman Opperman. He's doing the video series. He did it last year, and he's doing it again this year. We just got off the phone with him about an hour ago. So he's planning on 4 episodes. So if you're interested in following it again or watching those episodes, they're coming very, very soon.
Will those be on YouTube, or where can people find them?
Correct, YouTube. He
Okay.
posts them under his
Under his channel,
which is Painted Dog. The Painted Dog is the specific to South Africa. But you get on YouTube and go in the search bar and type in Artemis, and it'll show up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we'll put all of your links down, under this video
yeah, thank you.
as well.
And then a quick thing, of any of the viewers that are interested in Artemis, you hop on Instagram, which is the social platform that we use for Artemis, and you use the hashtag Artemis Rally, and it'll show you
Mhm.
everything. That's where all the content is. So that's a quick snapshot of what you could expect.
yeah, you'll be seeing the content that the teams from 2023 and 2024 posted with their little
Yeah.
hashtags, and yeah, it's pretty cool to see.
It's really fun, and now that I know what the numbers with the dashes mean,
Yeah.
because I was looking at some of them and I was like, "What is this crazy I'm like, "That's not a date, it's not a time, it's the challenge number."
Yeah, challenge 1 or day 1, challenge 6. Yeah.
That's how
Nice.
we
I
keep
like
up
it.
with it. Yeah, and that's how they score it.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Excellent. I don't think I have any more questions.
So
Did we miss anything?
are these challenge are they posting all is this Instagram? Is that the platform they use, or do you allow them to use whatever social media? Or does it have to be Instagram?
Instagram only.
Instagram.
Okay.
It's the only social
Yep.
platform that behaves the way we needed it to.
Yep, yep,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and everybody having anything to do with any of this is already on there anyways.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
True.
makes sense.
I like Facebook better, but I'm a relic, so I'm having to learn how to get over on Instagram.
I had to help him. He is teachable though, so
Are
Yeah.
either one of you guys going out to Overland Pacific Northwest, the expo?
Yep, we're actually leaving here on the day we're recording this. We're leaving here in 2 days, and we're going to head out to the we're going to the Northwest Overland Rally. So we'll be there, and then we're heading down to Redmond. And going to be at Northwest and doing some things there. I'm going to be teaching a class, and Avis is going to be doing some live podcasting from there, and just taking in the expo. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys going?
I'm going to go out there and help the guys from Torque Wheels. They're doing a collaboration with Storyteller Vans. So we're doing an arrive and drive where you hop in one of the vans, go through an obstacle course. So if you get a chance, swing by there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have you guys some Artemis Rally swag.
Oh,
Very
cool.
cool. Thank
Thanks.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll definitely make a stop by.
Yeah. And we're in the I'll be in the Women Who Wander section
Okay.
with my friend Natalie, and we'll be talking through a couple of classes or sessions, whatever you want to call it. And so we'll be sure to mention Artemis to the ladies there too.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely come by and see you.
Yeah, and I'll try to slip away and come hunt you down or something. Check you out.
Yeah. We'll be all over. We shouldn't be too hard to find. Are you bringing Stewie? No, you're probably flying out.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly into. I've never been up to the Pacific Northwest, so I'm excited to see what little bit I can. But I'm flying into Redmond there, or
Okay.
Bend Airport, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the closest.
Yeah, Redmond, right? That's the airport.
Yeah.
That's where is it Redmond or Bend?
Well,
The event's in Redmond.
yeah, I think they're kind of like,
They're pretty close.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yes,
very
wherever
close.
he lands is where he's going to be.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, the
Excellent.
Pacific Northwest is pretty cool. We actually haven't, I mean, we've done some exploring around Pacific Northwest, but there's still so much we haven't seen. We just this past winter
Mhm.
made it out to Olympia National Park and kind of got out to some of the seashore out there, and I was just blown away. It is
Yeah.
really beautiful. Just
The beaches there, if you guys have never been, like, they're totally different from, like, North Carolina, Virginia, East Coast beaches. They were rocks,
Mhm.
like smooth river rocks, and I was just it was crazy.
I'm-
yeah.
For me, it was crazy.
I'd like to get out there sometime.
Yeah.
I want to do British Columbia too. You know, I always see that on
Mm,
television, but never gotten to get up that way.
yeah. Well, sidebar, once you get Stewie built and you guys wanna head out this way, we're always up for adventuring.
All right.
Hit us up.
He's
Yeah, we're
ready.
always looking for opportunities.
He's
Oh, he's ready?
well, he's not ready. We did the outside, the exterior, which was easy. You know, building the roof rack and the ladders, and you know, he chose that Toyota Voodoo blue. You know, so he's like super exciting color wise. And we built the sleeping berth on the back, but it's almost like I have writer's block on the interior. You know,
Mm,
he sat there for almost a year, and we finally just got the cabinets, you know, hung, the the faux tin ceiling, and the floor. So hopefully he'll be completed soon.
I personally
yeah.
think the writer's block came because after we purchased Stewie and started, then we decided, oh, let's do this Artemis Rally thing. And then that took over. So I don't know.
Change the focus a little bit.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
thoughts are it was Artemis. So
Stewie looks at me like,
Creative thoughts
yes.
redirected.
yeah, he did. Yeah, put on the back burner.
Stewie looks at me like the yellow lab that you haven't fed yet.
Yes.
You know, every time I walk by him, he's like,
I like that. I like that.
Good stuff.
All right. Well,
You get all your questions?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I have a very good understanding of it now. It's penciled in on my calendar.
Huh?
Sounds like a lot of fun. And yeah, we'll see you guys at the Pacific. Well, we'll see you at the Pacific Northwest, John.
awesome.
And thank you for
And
having us. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
yeah, thanks for taking some time out of your day off. And
Yeah, so great getting to know you guys a little bit
Yeah.
and hearing all about this awesome event.
yeah,
Looking forward to meeting you two in person.
Yeah, same. Likewise.
perfect.
Just a couple weeks.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
All right.
Bye.